Okay.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Look at my guest who I have got on the platform today. Wow, Angie Lamar is here in the
Hey.
house. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Angie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for coming on this platform and
Mhm.
sharing your story with my brilliant audience. Let me just first of all just tell my audience. So this is a pre-recorded podcast today, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel. So please subscribe if you haven't already. And why haven't you? Subscribe to my channel, and you will see our full interview with Angie Lamar today. So, are we all sitting comfortable? Are we all ready for the interview of the year? Hello, Angie Lamar in the house. Thank you, Angie, again. So let's first of all, I think you are an absolute icon. So let me
Oh,
just tell the audience a little bit about yourself. So Angela Lamar, she was born in London. Your both parents are Jamaican.
that's correct. Yes.
Both parents are Jamaican. Angie is a comedian, an actor, a writer, a director, a presenter, a producer. Wow. And 3 children and married.
Yes, six grandchildren.
And 6 grandchildren. Wow. I've got one. Six.
Oh,
Oh my
bless.
goodness. Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank
That's
you.
fantastic. So
Mhm.
Angie, how do you juggle all these things? First of all.
Well, I suppose first of all, it's like nearly 40 years of life. So it's been different stages doing different things. So the comedy and the stand-up was very much early in my career, then writing, directing, producing. So it's all kind of come to a point where I'm now managing all of that and just looking at what's really important at this moment and just celebrating the fact that I've only ever worked for myself, you know, from the age of 21.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's excellent. And what made you get into, why comedy? What made you go that way?
Well, the thing is, it's like you don't realize that you love something until you keep hearing the sound of laughter. So
Yeah.
as a child growing up, I was always that child that was making everybody laugh. I had, 4 older brothers, and I have just had the experience of being the youngest and cracking jokes and just loving the sound of it. And then going to school and then realizing that this is really my gift. I love it. But I wasn't supposed to do that in school. I was supposed to be doing that out of school. So I became the class clown. I didn't realize why that was because I didn't like reading and I didn't like just the way it made me feel. So cracking a joke and getting kicked out of class was actually quite me. And so that's how it started. And then I became Britain's first Black female stand up. And then that just opened the doors to my career.
Wow. But what was that like being, the first Black British comedian on the stage? What was that like all them years ago?
Well, you don't even realize what it is at the time. You don't realize it's pioneering and it's groundbreaking. You just think, I'm on the stage in front of this AGM meeting that I've blagged somebody to come and give me a gig, or I've phoned a fashion show, or I've phoned a community centre to say, can I come and tell jokes? Or I've gone into a blues dance and said, look, can I tell some jokes? And then you have an introduction like, we have a gal who want tell 2 jokes on the move back as the introduction. So at the time, you just think, oh, they've paid me or they're giving me, I mean, my first kind of wages was curry goat and rice. Like they would say, we don't have no money, but we have some curry goat and rice. You can have something to eat. And me being the greedy person that I am, I'm like, I'll drive all the way to Manchester with me and my boyfriend, husband now, but at the time, my boyfriend, drive, let's go to Manchester. I got a gig. They're going to give us some curry goat and rice and we drive back.
Yeah.
Those are early wages. So then people started to pay you. Somebody would book you, and then before you know it, if you wanted a woman, if you wanted a black person, I was 2 for 1. So I was really in the 80s, really going hard.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
So you must have met a lot of interesting people on your journey.
I have met some. I mean, I've had a really great life. I've when I reflect and look back, I think, wow, I didn't even know that that was dangerous. I didn't even know that that was who that person would become. I didn't even know. You just didn't know because you were
Yeah.
just enjoying it. And
Yeah.
then on reflection, you think, wow, I met Whoopi Goldberg. Like, wow, I
Wow.
interviewed these Maya Angelou.
Wow.
Reflection, you just think, wow, what a
Yeah.
great life that's
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fantastic. That's fantastic. That you've done all these wonderful things,
Mhm.
and you're still doing it. But before
Yeah.
we get into that, what was your life like growing up as a child? You just said you've got 4 brothers,
Mhm.
in a Jamaican household in London. What was that like?
When I look back on my childhood, I really had a great childhood. And when I talk to my children, my daughter in particular, and I say to her that, being a young woman at that time was so great, so safe. I was protected. My brothers protected me. You could not trouble me. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Then my brothers taught me to fight as well.
Mm.
So I felt safe. The area, the community that I grew up in. I was raised in church, Kojic, Church of God in Christ, and my mum was an evangelist. My father was a deacon. So I was a church girl. The week was the week, but come weekend, I'm sure my mum's taking me to some convention. I'm sure she's taking me to some woman's meeting or some prime meeting was held at my house on a Friday night, and I had to make the tea. So I had to literally just wait until the Holy Spirit finished, and then I could go downstairs and make the tea for the people so I could go to bed. So my life was really kind of like in amongst so much. And then I started to do my work, which was going into workshops and kind of like drama clubs and doing the things that my parents said, well, you're not having a good time at school. You get kicked out of school. You don't like it, but you love drama because your drama teacher
Mm.
talks about you like you're an angel, but the rest of the teachers talk about you like you're a devil.
Wow.
So what is it? And I said, Mom, I just love drama because when I'm there, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. I can get to where I want to be in my space and expression. So my mum just said, well, Martin, to my dad, looked like she wanted to do this thing. And that was it. Drum club. My dad would drop me on a Wednesday and a Friday. And he'd be outside in the car. People would be like, your dad's always on time. And my dad didn't mess around. I'm picking up my daughter, my one daughter, and she's going to get home safe.
Mm.
And that was it. I enjoyed my childhood. I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the laughter. I even enjoyed the discipline.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
enjoyed, I can't go partying. I can't straighten my hair and I can't wear trousers. I can't do those things.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and see if I can make the Vaseline stretch it out. I'm going to put the trousers underneath my skirt. I'm going to sneak out and go party.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it. But
Wow.
there's no trauma here. Like you hear people talk about their childhood and
Yeah.
you just sit there and think, wow, I never,
It's
no,
brilliant.
nothing,
Yeah.
nothing, just happy, loved, and cared for.
Oh, that's lovely. That's so nice to hear. But
Mm.
when you said you've got you didn't know how to, well, not you didn't know, but you didn't like school. So
Mhm.
did you know then that you was dyslexic?
Not at all. I didn't know I was dyslexic till well into my 20s,
Yeah.
late teens, 20s, when I went for an audition and I was doing such a bad job of reading that the director said, are you okay? Like, what is going on with you? And I'm sweating because I really want this gig because my 2 friends have got it. And
Yeah.
I need to get the third role because
Yeah.
then we can go on tour together and and we're going to Switzerland and Holland. I've got to get
Wow.
the gig. And so I'm going through this thing thinking I haven't got it because I'm reading like an idiot. And then the director said to me, I'm going to give you the role because the determination that you're showing, and I know you're not going to have to read on stage. You're going to learn the lines, and I can see that you're a good performer, but you just got a problem reading. And then she said to me, do you think you might be dyslexic? And I thought, what kind of disease is that this woman putting on me? you know, because dyslexic, I mean, for what dyslexic is,
Yeah.
why couldn't they find a word, call it like Deely or something easy? Dyslexic is one of the hardest words to say.
Exactly. I can't even spell it.
They give it to us. I'm looking at it going, what?
What? Yeah.
Break it down. So then you get tested out, and then you find out that I'm actually severely dyslexic. So, and I'm left-handed dyslexic. So my creative side is on speed dial.
Wow.
So my brain operates really, really quick. So it's no surprise that I do what I do, because my brain is already boxed it up, put it there, just done everything. So, and that was it. And I didn't really tell anybody, because it just still felt like, oh, she got this thing. And I remember when Whoopi Goldberg said that she was dyslexic, and I think it must be the same evening I started to tell people that I'm dyslexic, because Whoopi Goldberg is as well. So me and Goldberg are dyslexic. So the two of us, you know, we are both, you know, I am her, she is me. You know that one?
Absolutely.
She's left that.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, no, that's my twin.
Excellent, excellent. And you've written a book.
Yes.
How did that come around then? So let me just say, the book is Full Circle, Turning Your Gift Around. Fantastic title.
Yeah. And it's just that. It is really just turning it around. You know, you've been dealt this card, and you can sit there and go, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that. Or you can go, you know what? That's actually my gift. My gift is that I can't do that, because I do this other thing that compensates for that I don't even need. I'm not going to die if I can't read aloud. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I can still write.
Yeah.
So when it came to writing my book, at the beginning I was like, let me get someone to write it, and then let me get someone to do this. And it just came down to me just going, I've got to write it myself, because they don't sound like me.
Yeah.
They sound like I've got into a microphone and dictated the stuff. And then they've gone and written it up, and it's like, you know, when you read an article that you think, I didn't say that. Couldn't have the whole book. So I thought, you know what? Write it, Angie. What are you scared of? And I just started writing it. Then I started to enjoy it and telling my story about my life and growing up, because I know what happened at that particular
point.
So it was perfect for me. And also I wanted to tell my story, because when history come to tell its story, they could easily write me out. So I said, nah, you're not going to act like everybody else came after me, came before me, and this happened. No, you're not going to put me out of this story. So I'm going to put myself, for my children, for my grandchildren, and for my future, that this happened like this.
Yeah. No, that's all right. And what do you think about people who haven't got their purpose, who don't know where to go, or, you know, when they say to themselves that they talk themselves out of what they really want to do? How can you encourage that person?
Well, I always start with the end, like you're going to die. And that's fact. You know what I mean? And we come from a pandemic where people didn't have a clue or think that it was their time. And they had so much to do. So in that moment of life, you start to think, why do I care about what you think? Why do I care about why do I care? I've got this amount of time and I'm here. This that has happened to me can't keep mattering. It has to be this bit here. This is the bit where you write your dreams and you go, I really want to do that. I might not do it great, but I'm going to do it. And then if it starts, it will get better, because everything that starts must get better. You don't get worse, you get better at it. And you trust yourself. You don't ask people who are around you who don't think like you for advice. You just wouldn't do it. You know, I wouldn't go to a dentist and say, can you do heart surgery on me? I wouldn't do it. So when it comes to your life and going, because people say to me, what is purpose? I said, when your gift helps people, you're on purpose. So my gift is to make people laugh. If I make you laugh and you feel good tonight, I'm on purpose. Absolutely. That's when God says, oh, right, you're making sense. Your gift isn't for you. I benefit from it. But it's for me, it's for you. So once you've worked out, how do I serve you with my gift? You're on purpose. Because people think, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What is your gift? And how does it help people? Once you've found that, you're on purpose.
Wow. That That's amazing. That is so inspiring. It's bringing tears to my eyes, because that is so true, and
Yeah.
for myself, I didn't actually realize that, it's taken me a while to like get there,
Yeah.
but I'm so
Yeah.
glad I found my purpose and I'm on track I'm doing what I want to do. And
That's
yeah, it feels really, really good.
because if someone listens to this interview today and they go, "Oh, we've both been on purpose,"
Mm.
because you messaged me and I said, "This girl is not giving up." She's not giving up. This interview has to take place before I go home to drink.
Thank you.
And it makes sense because we have to fight for our purpose so
Yeah.
that we get to where the other person needs to get to.
Yeah.
And that's when we win.
Yeah. Oh no, Andrew, that is just so inspiring. And I hope somebody, one of our audience out there is sat there and listening and thinking to themselves, you found something what you really want to do, and for whatever reason you're stopping yourself. Just listen to what Angie's saying, because it's so true. Just follow your heart, just do it, and don't tell your story to somebody else who doesn't believe. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. And do it quietly. Do it, we
Yes.
love to announce everything. And society is so social media, like there's an announcement, I'm getting up, or I've just had breakfast. I've just, like, sometimes I don't know if your mum or your parents or families ever said, "Just shut your mouth."
Exactly.
Shut your mouth, until it's done, because energy will change something. You think you got a great idea, and you say to your some friend, "Oh, I'm doing this," and they go, why are you doing it?
Mm.
Can just shut you down one time.
Yeah.
Tell them when you've done it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's something I've learned.
Yeah.
Shut my mouth.
Yeah. I've learned that lesson, definitely. So you've written a book, and what's the next then? Are you going to write more books, or what does that look like?
Absolutely. My book next year coming out is called Next Level Behavior, which is just really about the next level. When you've done everything here and you're going round and round, you need to go to the next level. And you have to behave yourself in that place. You have to be disciplined in that place. You have to let a lot go from life to stay in this place. Because you just can't keep, you're going shopping or you're going upstairs and you've got all those bags and you go up. You can't take everything. You've got to put something down so that you can get yourself lighter to keep moving up. And I liken that to where our life is. That friend can't come anymore. That food can't come anymore.
Yeah.
That behavior can't come anymore. I've got to go here, because in order to accelerate to there, I can't take it all. And so it's a behavior. So I get up every morning at about 5 o'clock, and I've got a lot of things to do. Then I go walking for about an hour and a half at 7. I must do those things for the rest of my day to be great. When I don't, my body's sluggish. I don't feel so great. I haven't woken up to the world. I haven't given the world my morning.
Yeah.
And once you know what works for you, do that.
Yeah.
And keep doing it. So that book's coming next year. I've got 3 kids' books coming. We launch soon. One is called Audacity and Tenacity, and it's about 2 little girls who have the audacity to dream big, but the tenacity to make it happen. So they have little ideas and they think, can we do this? And it's like these little kids, yes, let's do this. Let's start a friendship group. And one of the girls says, well, they have to have their own pocket money because she ain't trying to use her money. So if you want to join our friendship group, you must have your own pocket money. So they've got this little attitude, and then book about my little kids, my daughter going to Jamaica and meeting her grandmother. And another one is called I Just Love Reading.
Wow.
Which is about a little girl called Angela, who at school, like the class clown, and she didn't like reading aloud. She loved reading, but not aloud, until her parents go and get her tested. So while I was in Jamaica, because I live in Jamaica as well, I just sat there and thought, I want to write for my grandkids now.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I read their books and I think, I can do this. I would like to try. And not like me to do one book, I wrote 3.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Call it a bundle of joy.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I love that. And how
Yeah.
can people get your books?
On my website, angelamar.com.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you for that. And so, Angie, when was the last time you was on the stage?
Well, I think last one was Birmingham last year, actually. I think November. I don't really do the stand-up much anymore. If I'm on stage, I'm more on the speaker circuit.
Right.
But the stand-up, I realized when I was in Jamaica that I don't do stand-up, but I actually would like to tie it up nicely.
Yeah.
Because nearly 40 years of it, I think I've paid my dues, and let's do it nicely. So I'm doing the final bow on the 1st of October. And for me, that is really about Felix Dexter. When Felix died, I remember being at the hospital and just talking to him and just looking at him thinking, this is sad, isn't it? This is sad. This is what I mean about that we do die. And, you know, my dad always used to say, we need something to take us out. And try to make sure you live your life how you want to live your life. And then you bow when you want to bow.
Yeah.
And you take control of what you want. So it was sad to see him go, sad to have to say goodbye to him like that. So when I was thinking about my show, I thought I'd like to stop doing stand-up, but you know, I'd like to go out one more time and do it like, yeah, this is it, everybody. I'm saying goodbye to this. See you later, but we're going to bad up the stage one more time.
Auntie, but you know the tickets have sold out.
Completely. Like when I didn't make a flyer, I didn't print any flyers. I had done no press release. It was like, I had to grab some back to hold it back for the celebrity audience that are coming to ask questions. And I was like, oh my God, somebody said to me, Angie, your tickets are nearly gone. I'm like, what? They can't be. And it was like halfway and it was moving fast. And that was a big compliment to me. I really felt appreciated to see it go like that, because sometimes our audience can be really slow on booking tickets. On the night you sell out, but right through, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to say to people, thank you. That's a big thank you to me.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And it's a shame that you're only doing one show, because it'd be nice to have you in Leeds. You know, I'd love to have you here.
Yeah, I know the amount of people, Manchester, Birmingham, this, that.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't have the travel at the moment. My head is not in that space. I live in Jamaica. I'm looking after my mum. And so the time that I have is to get my mum treatment, to get back to Jamaica, you know, to look after her there. Right. And so I'm working with a window.
Okay.
And so I said, you know, if I'm going to tie it up, I've got to tie it up now, because I don't know what tomorrow holds. Yeah. You know, so someone said, are you ever going to come back to the stage? I said, if I do, it'll probably be in my 60s, because that will be the next milestone.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. And what else have I got to ask you? What do you do to get ready for, you know, like you're doing this big stand-up? What do you do to prepare yourself for that?
Well, I'm preparing now. So throughout September, I'm just creating material. I'm just writing. Everything's funny. I'm picking from that. What I've always wanted to say. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. And I just start letting it down on paper, vomiting it up on paper. Then next, I'll start mapping it out and writing the joke for that moment. So if I'm writing about young people, I might start talking about the fact that we couldn't talk about mental health when we were growing up. We didn't even know what it was. You know what I mean? So I start kind of opening up the conversation in my mind and how I can compare. Yeah. Then I start rehearsing the week before and running around the park, running the set in my head, so that when I go on the stage, I know bang, bang where I'm going, because I've got to probably be doing about an hour and a half stand-up. Right. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. And you know, I know was it last year or the year before? I think it was during COVID. You started a walk.
Yes. So we walk.
How is that?
Well, you know, the thing is, I got a dog, so I'm always at the park walking my dog, and I remember thinking, we're the sisters, and I see lots of different cultures and races kind of just exercising, and I couldn't see us in the numbers. Yeah. I thought, well, maybe they need to walk with somebody. And me and my friend, comedian Glaz, Campbell, because we walk most evening because he had a dog and I have a dog. And so I said, you know what, maybe they just might want to walk with us because of the whole pandemic thing. So I wrote on my Facebook, does anybody want to walk on this Wednesday, meet me at 7 o'clock? I tell you this, I was expecting maybe 3, 4, 5 people, just to stroll. But the Monday before that Wednesday, I saw this guy on a bike playing music, and he was playing some serious soul music. I said, where do you know them tunes from? I said, why don't you come down on Wednesday, because I'm going to be doing a walk. He goes, okay, we'll see. I never thought anything of it. When the Wednesday came, 10 people there, 20 people walking here, I said to my daughter, oh my God, they're going to think I'm fit. They think I got a plan. So I begged her, I said, please do some stretches, because she does fitness. I said, do some stretches. I did laughter therapy because I do laughter therapy. And then the guy came over the hill with this music thumping.
Wow.
It all looked planned. Then somebody videoed it and it went viral. And then we had different blocks saying, can you come to our park? And I said, yes, do you want to be the ambassador? I got my daughter to design the t-shirts, build the website, build all the social media, and 2,500 people on our Facebook. We Walk Wednesdays. Last year we had 20 parks.
Wow.
Right across England walking. This year we had about 15. But next year, we know what we've got in this third year. And we started hiking. So you've got all these women that would have probably been at home and just going, well, I've never hiked before. So I would do things that I've never done, thinking somebody else might want to do it.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you're right.
Yeah.
So I was on purpose with the thing that I like doing and seeing if anybody else wanted to do it. And as soon as it happens, it hits. It's a God intervention. It's a God moment.
Yeah.
And so now when you trust yourself to go, I know it might feel weird if I say anybody want to walk. That must sound weird. It's not weird.
Yeah.
Somebody's got an idea. They think, I wonder if people want to eat biscuits in the park on a Thursday. And they think, well, I do. Well, I do. Well, before you know it, you've got. So that surprised me. And I love it because we're going to be going to walk in Jamaica. We walk good. We're going to be going to Ghana. We're going to be going to all over the place.
Oh no, we need to be jumping onto this.
Yeah.
Oh, this sounds fantastic.
Because I was in Jamaica and I walked, did Blue Mountain, the hike up Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
And so I'm up on the Blue Mountain going, somebody else wants to experience this. Because if it feels like this for me, it's going to feel like that for you. All I have to do is gather the people.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So to our audience, if there's anybody out there who would like to start a walking group, and so Angie, would you come to the first walking group with the
yes,
group, depending on dates?
I'm here because we launched it. The next one will start back in March.
Right.
And we do the clocks. So when the clock changes, we start walking. And when it changes back, we stop walking.
Okay.
So in that window on a Wednesday, somebody who is committed to walking every Wednesday for that time. But if you see how some people started walking slowly and they're sprinting around the park now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So really good. So
that's fantastic. Oh no, that's brilliant. So our audience, we need to get walking with Angie Lamar.
Because Birmingham are walking, Nottingham's walking. So come.
Yes. So you haven't got anybody from Yorkshire then, from Leeds?
And so you'll do that, right?
Yes. Yeah, we need to get that up and running, definitely. Because I love walking. And I've got a park. There's a park just not far from where I live at Roundhay Park, it's called. And I walk around the lake. It's lovely. It's really nice around there.
Beautifully placed. And somebody wants to walk in your community that needs someone to say, come and walk with us.
Yeah.
After we joke, we do business because you just don't know who you're meeting. The very person you need in your life is the very person that you're walking with.
Absolutely.
I do that.
Yeah.
It's really, it's real.
No, that's fantastic. We've definitely got to look at it. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to see how many people. Put it in the comments if you would like to start walking with Leslie.
Yes.
Let's see what happens.
Do check out our Facebook as well, because you see exactly what we're carrying on with.
Yes, I will check out. Yeah, check out the Facebook, Angie Lamar's Facebook, and have a look.
Yes.
So, Angie, who is your last question? Who is your superhero?
My mum, my mum, you know, my parents,
Yeah.
because what they've shown me is you can do whatever you like. You
Yeah.
can win at anything that you want to do. And my mum has guided me all through my life and made me know that I could fly high. And then when I came down, she was there to catch me.
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, you're just looking after your mum by yourself," I say, that's my role. No one's looking after my mum
Yeah.
except me.
Yeah.
You know, my dad always used to say, "Once a man, twice a child." She's now my child. You
Yeah.
know, I look after you. Mummy, eat that now. We're going here. We're not doing that. The trouble my mum, you hear earthquake.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's my superhero. Yes, I've got my Whoopi Goldbergs, my, you know, my people that I've looked in for. If you can do it, I can do it, who've inspired me.
Yeah.
But the person that is always looking at me going, you know, you can do it, you know. That's my mum.
That's my mum. Oh, that's really nice. That's really nice, Angie. Was there anything else that you would like to tell our audience before we go?
Well, you know, I'm building a platform now for straight to audience production because that's my company. And so my plan is to just all the work that I've had over the years, I'm going to be loading it up because I've filmed everything, most of my work, about
Yeah.
8 over the years. So
Yeah.
I'll be building an archive and putting new work there. My new play, which is called Siblings, it's about when the father dies and how the siblings respond to each other, all the aftermath of that, and
Yeah.
how they really react when there's inheritance at play and house and who looked after daddy and who didn't this and who didn't that. That's called Siblings, and that'll be online later this year.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, just click on and then you come into this, you know, virtual theatre and watch the plays from there.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you.
Angie, thank you so much for being on this platform, Real Table Talk, and having a conversation with me. I so appreciate it, and it's been brilliant. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Leslie. I really appreciate that.
Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording.